Welcome, welcome. And
Who are you?
I do keep asking that. I'm Maria. Who are you?
I'm Gary Arbitler. Where would I be without this girl? Isn't she amazing how much she gets done?
Oh, thank
just,
you.
she's been working hard to get this all prepared and sharpening your technical skills as well. Yeah, I'm a local doctor of chiropractic and naturopathic medicine. We've been here since 1987. We've had the opportunity to serve in this community this whole time and be able to raise our kids here. And what a beautiful town. And I know there's a number of people that don't live in Laguna, and I'm sure your town's beautiful too. And but the reason we're doing this really is because we live in an extremely toxic world. I think everyone's aware of that. If you Google how many chemical toxins are we exposed to in the world, there's over 1,000 different toxins. Some of them have been used since 1900s, early 1900s, and they weren't even thought to be toxic for the first 50 years. And then they find out, oh, that causes cancer, this causes cancer, that, disrupts your endocrine system, your hormone balance, all these things. So there are so many things. I mean, people are getting birth control, all the hormones from birth control that is being peed out from the urine of women on birth control pills is getting reabsorbed. It stays in the water, and then in our drinking water, we're getting hormones. And it's making a lot of excess hormones, plastics. There's just chemtrails, additives. We're living in a very, very toxic world, and if we're not
makeup and shampoo.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it only takes 26 seconds for any chemicals in your beauty products to enter into your bloodstream, and there are thousands of chemicals that are outlawed in the EU, but in America, I think the number the last time was about like 9 chemicals that are outlawed here. It might have risen since then, but there are very few chemicals in our beauty products, our shampoos, our cleaning products that are outlawed, but they're carcinogens. They're cancer causing, and they're really bad for our system. So there's so many different places that we're getting chemical exposure and toxic exposure.
And that's why we recommend, eating organic food, drinking good water, at least filter out the chlorine. There's whole home filtration systems, reverse osmosis. If you do that, you've got to be taking minerals, using organic, natural beauty products, skin products, shampoos, soaps, all that kind of stuff. It's just like, I'm turning 66 in a couple of months here. And, you look at what were we raised with? We had heavy metals put in our teeth with amalgams, mercury, nickel, silver, and we find that a lot of these heavy metals are extremely toxic. And the gasoline had lead in it. All of our paints had lead in it. A lot of us that are older grew up in even more toxic environments than there is now. But just look at the labels on any of the food, even food that you think is good, and look at how many chemicals are in there.
Yeah. So that's why this is so important. So we were together with our staff just a couple weeks ago, and we're like, okay, we need to, what are people interested in? What type of topics should we be talking about right now? And we're like, this whole quarantine is kind of like a detox for your life. Like, it's a time to step back, and a lot of things are being stripped away, and you're sort of reflective, and you're kind of like, okay, what is really good for me in my life? And maybe what are some things that this quarantine has kind of taken away from me that maybe is a good thing for me to kind of let go and move on from. So I feel like we're in this great opportunity right now to be taking a step back, to be resetting, refocusing, and kind of honing in on ourselves and where we're at in our lives and our health and our bodies. So we thought that this would be such a great time to talk about detox, to talk about the benefits of it, and then give you an opportunity to jump in with us. We're going to be doing a whole virtual detox together, and we're going to kick it off on Friday. It's going to go till the 22nd, and it's going to be really fun. So we're going to be talking more about that near the end of the webinar, but we just thought this is such a great time to detox and to clean out and to reset, and for all of us to just kind of focus in, boost our immunity and all that good stuff. So we're going to get into what are the benefits of detox.
And we're going to do it together, which is fun. I've already kind of gotten a jump start. I've started on a fast and taking different supplements and things. But I mean, think about springtime is the time that they always talk about spring clean. I mean, think about the last time that you cleaned out the garage or you cleaned out your closet that really needed it. And how good do you feel when you go back in to the garage or the closet and you look at it, it's like, wow, you feel really good. Everything's organized, everything's in its place, let alone the youthful appearance, the excess pounds of fat that come off your body when we're going to do this together, the energy that you're going to be restored, the better hormone balance, the headaches that are going to go away, the joint pain that's going to go away. I mean, there are going to be so many benefits that we're all going to experience together as we do this. And it's a lot of fun. And I'm part of a bigger group with Dr. Pompa that does these extended fasts and different things like that, which we'll graduate into. We just thought we'd start with, hey, what's an easy way to do it? It's not going to starve anybody, and it's going to get you ready and, you know, have you looking better for Memorial Day weekend and for the summer. And a lot of people, once they get this momentum, then they go, hey, you know what? I'm not going to go back to doing what I was doing all the way because I feel so much better now. And then this is just kind of like a first step to making some really good, you know, changes and starting to have your body look and feel more like you want it to look and feel.
Yeah. So we kind of talked a little bit about the need for detoxing. Why do we need to detox? It's because of the toxic load in our environment. So now let's talk about the benefits of detoxing. What does detoxing do for our bodies? Why do we need it? What is it going to improve? What does it do for us?
Well, if we go back to the simple topic, any of you guys that have been watching before, we know that the body was designed by God to heal itself. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to heal. You think about the fact that two cells came together and then 9 months later, and out comes a masterpiece like this one, right? Just like each one of you.
Yes, and, masterpieces.
And then that healing energy that made the body, they call that the innate intelligence of the body. That's what operates our entire body the rest of our lives. So a healthy body is making 2.5 million red blood cells every second. 2.5 million, 2.5 million, 2.5 million. 250,000 white blood cells made every second. 657 functions of our liver that are all going on pretty much all the time. So when we think about toxins are stress. Stress interferes with our body's ability to heal. Now, so a lot of people, when they think of stress, they think just about emotional stress and grief and sadness and anger and, you know, loss and things like that. But stress is anything that interferes with our body's ability to heal itself. So it can be emotional stress, it can be chemical stress like toxicity, it can be structural stress like old injuries, aches and pains, your knee not tracking right, your low back being stuck, your posture being distorted from the injuries. And there can also be electromagnetic field stressors that we're even, you know, exposed to now, and even more so with the onset of 5G right around the corner, which is a horrid thing. Keeping our cell phones away from us and having protection on our phones. We use and recommend this product called R2, RJ2.
Yeah, something like that.
RJ2, we have them here.
Yeah.
R2L.
Oh yeah,
R2L.
It's R2L.
And then also a safe sleeve that goes on our phones. But the idea is that stress interferes with our body's normal ability to function. So what does that mean in terms of toxins? Why do we want to detoxify? Well, our hormones are regulated by our body. And if there are hormonal stressors like, well, let's just say, for example, if people are eating a lot of things in plastic or using a lot of plastic products, those are high in estrogens, and they can release an excess of estrogens. And estrogens are cancer-causing, tumor-causing. High levels of estrogen are associated with the body wanting to start to create abnormal cells. And it's our immune system's job to go through and capture those abnormal cells and then dispose of them, eat them up, gobble them up, and then you get rid of them. You send them out through the eliminator channels. So our bodies are always fighting, abnormal cells as well as microbes. It's a well-known fact now that we have more microbe cells in our body than human cells. Mm-hmm. That's our flora. That's our biome, right?
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So you think about that, it's like, wow, that's really something. So, but abnormal pathogens, microbes that aren't supposed to be there in the abundance that they are, they create toxins. Even when our white blood cells see a pathogen, let's just say a yeast or a fungus or a virus or bacteria, and a phagocyte, which is a white blood cell, clumps onto that thing and breaks through it, surrounds it. When it releases all these endotoxins, almost like a shotgun goes off when you puncture the cell wall of some of these bacteria, and it releases a whole bunch of endotoxins that are very toxic. So even a normal process of our immune system fighting off microbes is releasing toxins just by killing off or puncturing the cell wall of the bug itself. So our body's ability to take out the trash, clean it up, that's what's important. But what happens if you have your certain amount of trash cans that you're allotted for, and the trash trucks don't come 1 week, now 2 weeks, and you keep on piling trash in there, how does it start to smell?
Not so good.
And do you see that there's flies? Do you see that there's maggots? Do you see how nasty it gets? We have to take out the trash regularly to keep healthy, to keep our house clean. If we don't, then things get pretty nasty. And then we age ourselves.
Yeah.
We feel toxic. Our inflammation goes through the roof. Joint inflammation, brain fog, brain fatigue, allergies. I mean, there are menstrual cycle problems, headaches, low back pain, abdominal discomfort, lethargy, depression. I mean, just the emotions that are produced when the liver is toxic. I'll read those over at you later on.
Wow.
Yeah, the emotional stress. You want to hear that?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right.
I want to hear it. It's crazy how interconnected our bodies are. It's like every piece affects the other piece. So if we have extra toxins and our livers are affected, it's not just going to be a liver issue. It's going to affect your emotions. It's going to cause inflammation. It's going to have a chain reaction to all the systems of our body. So that's what's really so important about all these things about living a healthy life, is really taking the whole picture and making sure that each part of our bodies, every system is doing well. Okay, Abby's gonna hop off. She did have a question, the difference between a detox and a cleanse.
Oh, detox and a cleanse. Well, they're very similar. And a lot of times we're going to talk a little bit more about what kind of detoxification and cleansing programs work and what doesn't work. Some of them can stir up the toxins, and if you're not eliminating it, you can end up feeling worse. So that is important.
Yeah.
And thank you, Abby, for bringing that up. And if anybody else has any questions, I'll try to keep my eyes up. You help me too, because otherwise I need my reading glasses.
And I do have all of you muted. You who are joining us on Zoom, on Facebook Live, you can type questions. But on Zoom, for anybody here, I have you muted. If you do have a question, go ahead and type it right now. But at the end, we'll unmute you all so that you guys can ask questions and everything. And Facebook Live, you guys can type anything in there as well.
So, we were just talking about the interrelationship between the chemistry, the structure, the emotion, the electromagnetic systems. Anything can cause anything. And so being emotionally stressed can lead to neck pain or low back pain. I mean, how many people have, witnessed that? But the Chinese doctors have so much, they had so much wisdom. The Yellow Emperor back 3,000 years ago had the Chinese doctors start gathering data about people that were sick and keeping statistics. And they found that people that had certain problems, let's say with their liver or with their large intestine, had certain emotions that were associated with those people. And so we use a technique for, since 1989, this technique here. It's called neuro-emotional technique, NET, mind-body stress release. There it is. And there it is.
Yeah.
NET. And so this comes from NET, but here are some of the emotions for people that may be experiencing liver toxicity. There may be a tendency towards having anger or resentment, or feeling that things or people are very irrational, or being very frustrated with how things are, or feeling aggression, or feeling galled or stubborn. Galled is kind of nauseous, sickened. It's like, ugh, that's galling. Emotional repression, stuffing your feelings and not talking about them, working through them. Feeling depression. I mean, I know a lot of people, there's a question there. No, it's not. A lot of people that have been depressed and are really indecisive, very indecisive, can't make up your mind which way you should go. And then listen to this one. This is for the lung and large intestine, which are paired meridians in Chinese medicine. People feeling grief, sadness, yearning, cloudy thinking, anguish, crying, compelled to neatness, defensiveness, dogmatic positioning. This is the way it has to be. Cloudy thinking, anguish. So grief. Those are all emotions associated with stressed livers and stressed lungs and large intestine. Do any of those things seem like things you might have felt now and then? By the way, if you want to know more about releasing emotional stress, you can go to netmindbody.com, NETMIND body.com, and you will see there's 2 little introductory videos about it, and then it also shows you a link to watch the documentary called Stressed, and it's 45 minutes. Lisa and I helped to invest to try to get the good news out. But it's really neat to start thinking about, hey, how do I unstress? How do I detoxify? How do I clean house? And we're really here talking today about the chemical component of detoxification and cleansing and getting a fresh new start and a head start on the summer.
Yeah.
So anyhow, what do you want to talk about now, Mo? I know we have an outline. What part do you want?
Yes. Okay, so we talked about the benefits of detoxing, why we need to detox, the benefits of detoxing. So let's talk a little bit about the intricacies of detox. What are the phases?
The benefits of detoxing, here's one thing really important. If you have a challenge losing fat off your body, which my body has a tendency to want to hold on to, like I'll do a cleanse and a purge and lose weight, and then my body kind of wants to go back to this thing, and it seems like it's such a slow process. But a lot of times that's because the body does need to be cleansed. It needs to be detoxified because a fat cell has toxins in it. So in order to burn the fat cell to create energy, then the body has to be able to take the toxic load, because it's like a little trash bag, take that toxic load and process it and go through a detoxification process. And if the body's already too toxic, the body looks at it like, I can't allow any more toxins in my system, so I'm going to leave that fat right there. I'm not going to touch that fat because I'm already too toxic as it is. There's too much trash in my trash cans already.
Yes, exactly. So really, for weight loss to really occur, we have to detox. That's a huge part, or else all those toxins will be released, and it's not gonna work. So we have to detox in order to lose weight. So that's another part of this whole 2-week detox that we're going to be doing is the weight loss component, or just fitness in general. If you're already fit, you don't need to lose weight. It's just honing in on your fitness.
Yeah, and increasing your immune response and more mental clarity and things like that if you don't need to lose weight. If you don't want to lose any weight, then just add more calories to the program that we're going to add. You can add more carbs, things like that to it. So we'll lay that out in a minute.
And really, I mean, right now, boosting immunity is a really hot topic for all of us. We all want to be enhancing our immune function. We want to be staying healthy with everything that's going around. So did we talk a bit about like immunity, why detoxing improves your immunity?
Well, one thing is that toxins, even like heavy metals, are toxic. We talked about pollutants, chemical pesticides, excessive hormones, plastics, and how many chemicals are used in processing, manufacturing, things like that. But you're you're also aware, or maybe you're not aware, that autoimmunity now is the #1 disease process in America. It's not cancer and it's not heart disease, because so many things are considered autoimmunity, from MS to rheumatic arthritis, to lupus. There are so many autoimmune problems that are out there. And heavy metals can actually stimulate the process and actually start the whole process up. That's how I got in autoimmunity, was I had metal toxicity. When I was 21, I had a bunch of dentistry that wasn't really administered to my benefit the way that it should have been. And I have some genetic predispositions to not being able to detoxify. So I got mercury poisoning and nickel poisoning and lost most of my hair as a 21-year-old, and my skin turned gray, and I got bags underneath my eyes, and people were looking at me like, what the heck is going on with you? And
wow.
I was a pre-med student, and I was a vegetarian, and study hard, play hard, and doing the college lifestyle. And then all of a sudden I was like, whoa, didn't know what was going on, and nobody really put two and two together that I had all my mercury fillings removed and then all of them replaced with fresh new mercury, and they didn't use any dams to keep me from getting the heavy metals. So anyhow, it was it was an overreaction to that, and I have a genetic predisposition. So your immune system to work correctly, if you have chemical stressors in your system, it's going to interfere with your body's ability to really go after pathogens, because those chemical toxins are looked at as antigens, and your body's going to be busy dealing with the toxins instead of making your immune system strong.
Mm-hmm. We want all the good energy going to our immune function and to protecting ourselves, rather than having to just be over here, give our energy to the toxins that we can really do something about eliminating and decreasing. And that's what this whole detox is going to do.
So what are the main organ systems that do the detoxification? Well, let's go with the biggest one. The one most everyone knows about is the large intestine. Yep, that's a toxic release system. And it looks to me as the bottom of the funnel, if we were to take a funnel. Now, the skin is the largest eliminative organ, surface area wise, and toxins come in and toxins go out through the skin, through sweat, and also then breathing. We breathe in air, we blow out CO2, which is a toxin. So the lungs helped us to detoxify as well. Then our kidneys and bladder, that is considered one system. That's urinary toxicity. And then we've basically got everything. Oh, the liver. The liver is the last one, and that's what we're going to spend a little bit more time on there. There's things you can do for each one of these things, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in our at the end. We'll wrap it up. But let's just say, like for the skin, one of the best things for skin is exercise, and also dry brushing. If you take a dry brush and you brush everything towards the heart. I get just the good old-fashioned ones with a vegetable bristle brush, and brush everything towards the heart. It has a handle on the end to get your back too. And do that before you take a sauna or before you take a bath or a shower. For the kidney, basically it's using good water. The kidney, one stat that I saw says the kidney really can't absorb more than 4 minutes of water every 20 minutes.
4 ounces.
4 ounces, thank you.
Yeah, 4 minutes of water.
Thank you. Glad you're here. But so that's why if you drink like a 16-ounce tumbler of water, then you got to pee really fast. But if you're getting little 4-ounce bits in throughout the day, it's much more effective to stay hydrated than drinking, 8 glasses of water, drinking that whole glass of water, then that whole glass of water.
Yeah.
Because most glasses are 12 to 16 ounces. So. Okay.
It's good.
And then, we'll talk more about the liver, the colon, and lymphatic movement as well, the lymph system. That's exercise and getting the lymph system to really be fluid and viscous, not really thick, is important. That's the pathway that a lot of your white blood cells work on, and it's also a detoxification system. All right, so let's see.
So phases of detox.
Yeah, should we talk about phases of detox? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use one of my favorite doctors. His name is Dr. Walter Schmidt, and this is from the book Quintessential Applications, Dr. Walter Schmidt. He is one that Lisa and I have learned so much from over the years. He's just a brilliant doctor. This is him right there, Dr. Walter Schmidt. And Lisa and I, he wanted us to come out to North Carolina and work with him when we first started, and we chose to come here.
Good thing.
So with liver detoxification, sometimes people take liver detoxifiers, and if they're not taking the correct binders, once those toxins are loosened in the system, you need binders to grab onto them, kind of like a catcher's mitt. You got to grab onto that toxin and then be able to eliminate it out through the intestines, out through the colon. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you can get these more toxic intermediates if you just take detox supplements, and that's why we're including a pathway to help really move along the intestines, so you don't end up increasing your toxicity by loosening them up by just taking detox herbs and things like that.
And that's what we kind of talked about when we said, there's some really good ways to do detoxing and there's some harmful ways to do detoxing. And that's one of the things, if you don't have all the supplements and nutrients that you need, you can actually be creating harm. And so, there's a lot of different cleanses out there, juice cleanses and things like this, but you want to be careful when it comes to detoxing, that you actually have the nutrients that you need. So we're going to be talking about the pathways of detox, and along those pathways, there's specific nutrients the body needs, or specific nutrients that the body needs along each pathway of the detox. So
because if you don't get them, you're going to end up more toxic. So that's why, I'm just going to show you this real quick. This says, I'm going to point into each one, liver detox pathways. And you see there's a phase 1, a phase 2, and there's a whole bunch of things under phase 2. And then you'll see all these different nutrients, minerals, vitamins, supplements, things like that, enzymes. I'm going to show you this here. There you go. Sorry for this, but we basically wanted to show you that so you'd understand there is a process to detoxification. Phase 1 is called oxidation and hydroxylation. I'm not going to get into that, but there's an enzyme called cytochrome P450 that's involved with that. Phase 2 is where now you've got an oil-soluble toxin in that oxidation phase 1, but that oil-soluble toxin is very, very toxic. It's even more toxic than when it was sitting wherever it was deposited. Phase 2 is the conjugation process, where it turns it into a water-soluble toxin. And that goes through these paths of sulfation is number 1, glucuronidation is number 2, glycination is number 3, methylation is number 4, acetylation is number 5, and glutathione pathways is number 6. So all of these different ways of turning it into a water-soluble toxin to get out of your system so you get the benefits has nutrients that are associated with it. That's why we like using a product we're going to tell you about that has all that nutrition in it, so you don't have to go and buy a ton of supplements. Now the scientists, the biochemists have made a lot of this work really easy for us to do.
Sweet.
All right. What else?
So along those phases, like we said, we need specific nutrients in order to do that phase, right? So that's going to kind of lead us into supplements in the diet. Why do we need to supplement when we're doing a detox? What is the benefit? It's because those specific pathways, you need certain nutrients. So what we are going to lay out for you here is a type of detox. And this is the one that we're going to jump into, and we're going to invite you to jump into with us starting on Friday. So there's lots of different detoxes that you can do. And like we said, in the future, we're going to do some that are a little bit more focused on heavy metal detoxing. There's a specific way to go about that. But this one is a really good general detox that's going to really detox your liver. It's going to go after those toxins in your body to eliminate them, and it's going to we're going to bring your inflammation down by being on a specific diet, and we're going to help to, if you have any food allergies or sensitivities, this is going to kind of eliminate those types of foods so that your body is not in a process of reaction mode. It's in a process of healing mode instead, and detoxing. So let's kind of get into it. Let's get into the ins and outs of what this detox is that we're going to be doing, and the supplements that you would need to be on, as well as the diet to be on, and yeah, what's going to help?
Well, this is a combination of a lot of different systems that I've been exposed to since the 70s. My first fast was in 11th grade, and I did a 3-day water fast after reading Dr. Paul Bragg's book called The Miracle of Fasting. So I've learned so many things. I think back, wow, that's 50 years ago. So
Wow.
I've been doing this kind of stuff for 50 years.
And
That's awesome. You know, of course, I'd like to look younger than I do, but hey, I'm doing the best I can. So.
Well, and it's really cool to hear that you've done it for 50 years, because this is one thing that we want you to come away from this webinar with, is the importance of fasting for a healthy lifestyle
and cleansing.
That this should be something that's in our rhythm, you know. And a lot of times we're not really used to fasting. We know more about cleansing and detoxing, but these are tools in your tool belt of health that you should be using on a continual basis. This is something that is a lifestyle. It's part of your life. So if you've never really done a detox before, this is super exciting that you're watching, and hopefully you join us for the detox. If you've done a lot, that's great. This is a continual thing for you to be doing.
Well, there's a lot of key terms right now called intermittent fasting and fasting. You know, we've all experienced fasting. Every single one of us that are alive have fasted, because when we go to sleep, we're not eating.
True.
That's why it's called break fast, is when you break the fast of fasting in the morning. And intermittent fasting basically means that you wait a little while so you don't get up right immediately to eat, put food or coffee in your mouth right off the bat. So breakfast is can be pushed a little later. Was that a question that came up there?
No.
Okay. So intermittent fasting basically means that some people won't have the first food in their system. All they'll have is water, or maybe some detox supplements, or the smoothie that we're going to show you about. They won't have that until 11 or 12 or 1 or 2. That if you're one that wants to burn more fat faster and detox more, you can delay when you start putting food into your system, and your body starts going after what's called autophagy. Autophagy means it starts going after cells that are old, decrepit cells that need to be out of there and put new cells in. So autophagy is really huge for your immune system and your longevity and your youthful appearance and your youthful brain.
I love autophagy. Like, I just think that is the coolest idea, that our bodies, when we're fasting, our body's like, oh, okay, if I need any energy, I'm going to go after all the bad stuff. I'm going to go after the bad mutant cells. I'm going to go after these tissues that are damaged, and I'm just going to eat them. And I think sometimes we have this idea that when we're fasting, that our bodies are starting to take like good from us, you know, that like, oh, my muscles are deteriorating, like I'm not eating, you know, and we think it's like a bad thing, when that is the coolest thing ever, that our bodies know, like, okay, I'm going to go after all that bad stuff. I'm going to clean house for you and take out all the bad. So fasting is a really good tool to implement along with this detox.
And that's why we want to say, like, you can, if you want to get even better results, you can delay when you first put the food in. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to show you how to start the day with something to detoxify the bowel. We use a product called Baltone, and Baltone, if you're psyllium seed sensitive, you wouldn't use this product. We have another product called Metafiber. Did you ask Ari to order some of that?
Yeah, we're gonna order.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have everything here so people can get started. But it's basically like a push broom to the intestines to clean things out. And then we use a product, Detox Relief. We also have another one called Bind. And those are charcoal products and clay products, things like that. And they can be taken in capsules or they can be taken in powder form. So that's what we're going to use to start the day and end the day is with the Detox Relief and the Ball Tone.
So the Detox Relief is what is going to be really the thing that's binding to the toxins, right? So we talked about those fasts and those cleanses where, you know, you might just kind of bring up a bunch of toxins out in your system, and then your system's like, how do I deal with these? But it's the charcoal, the Detox Relief, that is going to actually bind to those toxins and then draw them out of your body.
Right.
And then the bowel tone is the fiber that's going to help to cleanse out the digestive system.
It's the push broom. And then from there, we basically make either 1 or 2 smoothies before dinner. And that smoothie, basically, you're going to take 12 to 18 ounces, depending on how much fluid you want to get in, of water. And then we add in, if you don't have to add in anything else, if you want to, you can just put the OptiCleanse in.
So let's talk about what is OptiCleanse. So
OptiCleanse is a protein powder that basically has everything you saw on the list. Everything that's needed to detoxify is in this product, OptiCleanse. There are other companies that we've used in the past, Clearvite, Ultra Clear, NutriClear. There's been a bunch of different products. This is the one we feel is the best tasting and the best value for the money. It's basically, you know, part of your shopping list. So what we'll do is we'll show you in just a minute exactly how to make it, but the concept is what I wanted you to get first. So if you want a little bit more food, a little bit more flavor, then you can add a handful of raw organic nuts. I usually like to do a mix of nuts. So some pecans, some organic cashews, some organic almonds, maybe sunflower seeds, just a nice big handful of nuts. That gives you some good fats, so it regulates your blood sugar. And then take some organic frozen fruits, both Costco and Trader Joe's now sell them. What's the one from Rushmore? They have a really good organic blend at Costco now that they're selling. And one of my friends' company is Rushmore. It's the best product on the market that I've seen, but it has pomegranates, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, I believe.
Superfruits.
Yeah, superfruits. And so, you know, about a cupful of that, blend that all together really well until it's real smooth, and then turn off the blender. Then you want to add in your 1 scoop of Clearvite. Of OptiCleanse. And then just blend that for about 2 seconds, not very long. And then you can put it in the thermos. Because you don't want to denature the protein. Yeah, the more you blend a protein, the more it's going to denature the amino acid sequences and make them so they're not usable. So, and then you make your smoothie, and now it's nice and cool. If you want to put some ice in there in the initial part too to make it a little colder, then put it in you can either just drink the glass of it right then. I like to put it in a thermos so I can kind of drink it, you know, over the course of, you know, an hour or so. I can kind of sip on it and not just guzzle the whole thing all at once. And that basically becomes your breakfast and potentially your lunch. Or it just becomes the first meal of the day at lunchtime. And then we'll talk about the meal at night. You can also have salads anytime you want salads. Just go with an organic type of salad dressing. We usually use like an organic vinaigrette, something like that. You can make your own. Could you take Mom's recipe and put it up?
Yeah, we'll be putting up like a bunch of recipes for you, a bunch of different ideas of what you can be eating and what you can be doing on this detox when you join. So there'll be an email list and a Facebook group to basically give you all the information. But let's go over the 5 foods that we're going to eliminate.
Okay.
So we talked about there's 3 supplements that that we're going to be taking. It's the Bowtone Detox Relief and OptiCleanse. Those are going to give you, the Bowtone and Detox Relief are going to help to flush the toxins. The OptiCleanse is going to give us all the nutrients that we need to go through all those phases of detoxification that we talked about, that your body can't do unless it has those nutrients.
And
then,
those, you want me to say?
No, we'll do that in a second. So those are what we're adding. That's the supplements. Now there's 5 foods that we're taking away. Elimination, to take away the inflammation, to take away the possible food allergies and sensitivities, and that's going to be
grains is number
no
one.
grains.
So that means no bread, no pasta, no tortillas, no rice right now. We're just going to take a break on the grains. Now, that's probably the biggest thing I'm going to tell you. If you had to have it because you're going nuts, you could have some brown rice. But that's kind of it. All right. Second is no caffeine, no tea or no coffee. You're going to take a vacation from those things.
For your adrenals, right?
For your adrenal glands, yep. Number 3 is alcohol. We're going to take a vacation from drinking alcohol, wine, anything. Just take a break. It'll still be there. By the way, since the coronavirus thing has happened, it's been 70% more alcohol sales. So I don't know if it's been with you at all, but maybe a little break is in order. Just take a vacation from drinking for a little while. Not a problem. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You can do 14 days. And then Memorial Day will be right there. And then the other thing is dairy products. We're going to just take a break from dairy products. Cheese, milk, butter, yogurt, all of that kind of stuff.
How about eggs?
You could have eggs.
Okay.
You can have eggs unless when you eat eggs, you feel worse. But that could be one of your protein sources. Did we get all 5?
And no sugar.
Oh, no sugar. Thank you. And no sugar.
No honey
no
either,
sweeteners,
right?
no honey.
No.
No.
So you could do stevia.
Yeah.
You could do stevia and monk fruit. Those are good natural sweeteners made from herbs.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the big 5. No sugar, no grains, no alcohol, no caffeine, and no dairy.
That's it.
Big 5.
Yeah. Just going to give it a break. Just give it a break. Watch what happens. You might even want to take your top, if you want to get creative with this, would you put the symptom progression? You know how we have people write their symptoms down?
Oh, yes.
And they rate them on a scale of 0 to 10. And then you'll see that over the course of 2 weeks, you're going to see your symptoms get better and better and better. There might be a little bump in the road now and then when your body's releasing, like when the trash truck comes and picks up the trash can and dumps it in. It's like, whoa, that smells.
Yeah.
There might be some times when you're not feeling quite as peppy, but that's called a Herxheimer reaction. It just means your body's like dumping toxins. And so if that's the case, just drink more water, and you could even take an extra scoop of OptiCleanse if you wanted to for that point. Yeah,
and that's the thing going into detox, that you have to, kind of have the mindset that you're gonna feel great at points, you're gonna not feel so great at other points, and that's part of the process of healing and part of the process of detox. So just kind of go into it with that mindset, like, I'm not going to feel great right away. That's part of the journey.
Sometimes you do. I mean, I felt great right away many times, but some people, if they drink a lot of coffee, a lot of caffeine, they may get a little caffeine withdrawal headache. Just weather the storm, drink more water, and take another scoop of OptiCleanse, and it'll help you get through it.
Yeah.
Or even if you feel really toxic, you can even take 2 Detox Relief every hour for about 4 or 5 hours, and that'll help bind on to a lot of that toxicity that's coming out.
Yeah, that's good. So with this, we're basically inviting you into a 2-week detox with us, with our Health and Balance staff, all together, and so that we can support each other. We can support each other virtually and be there for one another.
So wait, what about the meals?
The meals.
We get meals. We get meals. We get food. All right. So it's not a fast.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, that you are going to go out to lunch with someone. Maybe that day you replace one of your smoothies, your detox smoothie, with an optimum meal. Here's an optimum meal. lots of vegetables and a protein source. That protein source is going to have some fats in it. So whether it's eggs, whether it's chicken, fish, turkey, whether you want to just stay with a vegetarian type of protein source, you can do that. You can use tofu. Try to get organic and non-GMO tofu, because most of it is genetically modified. And then you're gonna have cooked vegetables. You're gonna have salads. All kinds of, get creative. You can do roasted vegetables. Like I love, roasted vegetables. And what about potatoes? You can, I mean, there are some purists that say you shouldn't even have any nightshades, which are potatoes, tomatoes, and eggplant, peppers, things like that. It depends on if your joints are really achy, and if you want to get more, a little bit more clearing over here.
Thank you, Ronnie.
What's that?
Ronnie's comment was really sweet.
What did he say?
He said, Randy, no, honey, you're literally the cutest and nicest human on the planet.
She is.
You're so sweet.
But you can do it without the nightshades if you want to, but you can also do roasted vegetables, Brussels sprouts, carrots, zucchini. I mean, I love just getting a big pan and using some good seasoning, like everyday seasoning from Trader Joe's and liquid aminos. I mean, you can,
sweet potatoes are so good on a detox.
Yeah. You can have some of those too. Just don't overdo it, because those are higher carbs. If you want to lose more weight, just stay lower on the carbs and do more green vegetables than potatoes. So you can have a replacement. Let's say you're going to go to lunch and you know how to pick your meal. It's like, where's my protein source and where's all my vegetables, and that's how you do it. So
with
makes
fruit,
it easy.
We can do a little bit of fruit.
Yeah, you can do a little bit of fruit.
We don't want to go overboard. We don't want to go more towards the higher glycemic fruits like bananas and mangoes. We want to keep those a little bit lower, and we want to go with more berries and things like that.
So you can look up, you can Google glycemic index of fruits, fruit glycemic index, and just find the lower glycemic index. If you want to cut body fat off the body, then just go more with berries and less glycemic index fruits.
And then they're asking, okay, so they tend to overuse olive oil. What's another oil with different properties to add?
Well, avocado oil is more heat stable than olive oil. So if you're going to be cooking, I would suggest avocado oil as even something better than olive oil. Okay. And then some people in their salad dressings, instead of using rice wine vinegar or balsamic vinegar, they'll take some of the organic apple cider vinegar. And apple cider vinegar is really good for the body as well. You can just mix that up with your oil, maybe your lemon, your spices, avocados. You can have avocados on this too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, avocados. Good. Yeah. Okay, so everyone's asking if we have these 3 supplements in stock, and yes, we do. So we just got a big stock in, and we're going to be getting more coming, because we know more and more people are going to join this. So if you want to go to healthandbalance.com/detox-webinar. That's where you signed up for this webinar. On there, it says sign up for the detox. And that's where you can sign up for the detox, and then you'll have dibs on the first products that we have. So what we're going to be doing is, if you sign up in the next 2 hours until 4, then you will get a 10% discount on these supplements. So the total for all
the OptiCleanse, this is basically 2 scoops a day for 2 weeks. That's $82. So basically $82 for 28 meals. Okay. And then these Baltone comes 2 different ways. So these are the capsules. This is 40. But this is the powder that's in the capsules. You get a lot more here if you're economically minded. I usually just use the Baltone powder by itself. And if you're going to use the powder, what you do is you take about 10 ounces of water, put it in the blender, put 1 tablespoon of Baltone in, put it in the blender blend it for about 2 seconds and get it out and drink it immediately, because if you don't, it'll turn into jello. It gets real thick. Now, some people like to put the detox relief right in. A lot of times I'll do this. I don't want to have my system break down the gelatin capsule, so I'll just take the 10 ounces of water, take 5 detox relief capsules, open them up, put them into the water. Then it's all ready to go. I put my 1 scoop of this in, blend it, and drink it down really fast. It doesn't taste great. If you're squeamish on flavors, you can add a little bit of organic unfiltered apple juice to it and give it a little apple juice flavor. If you don't want to do the powder, then just do the capsules. The Baltone capsules, you would take 6 of these first thing in the morning with 5 of these first thing in the morning. And same thing last thing at night. Baltone, there's Baltone and Detox Relief. Let me get my big hands out of the way. Baltone and Detox Relief.
Cool. Okay.
And we've been using these products for a long time.
So, a couple other questions. Abby has 20-year-old, 17-year-old, and 14. They're athletic teenagers. Can they do this?
Absolutely. One of the best things for them. Clean house, get rid of some inflammation, get rid of some toxins, clean out their brain. Their brain will start dropping toxins. It'll be phenomenal for them. And if they don't, if they want to get more ripped and just have that, 6 or 8 pack, this is a great way to do that if they don't have much body fat. And if they don't want to lose any weight, then they can just add more carbs, more raw nuts. You can snack on raw nuts if you want to, if you're not that concerned about dropping body fat. Or let's say you're a world-class athlete like Kristen Thomas, let's say, and she's just ripped already. And I'm going to suggest, if Kristen, you're doing this, I would suggest that you keep more nuts going, more carbs, more sweet potatoes, all that kind of stuff. But it is going to improve your athletic performance because you're going to have decreased inflammation. And so your body's going to be functioning at a much higher level. Yeah.
So Mary's wondering, Mary's wondering, how about adjustments for optimal detox?
Well, the best adjustments for detox are, number 1 is right in here in the middle of the back is for the liver. That's T8. And then the other one would be the upper ribs across here for the lymphatic system. And then down here, L5, L4, L3 goes to the large intestine. So I would always want to make sure that those segments are adjusted as often as possible, at least once a week. Some people I want to get the very most out of this I can. They'll come in and get adjusted 3 times a week. We're still open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to help people that are in pain or that want to keep on working on their health. We're down to a much smaller staff right now for the time being, but soon we're going to be going back to full force.
So that kind of brings into question, so what are the logistics of doing this detox with us? So you can join us just virtually, and that we're going to be doing, like I said, a Facebook group. So when you sign up on that link that I'm going to put this in here, when you sign up, you'll get on the email list. We'll email you. We'll give you a link to get on our Facebook group. And that way there's a support group there. You can ask questions. We'll be hopping on. We'll be doing videos, different things like that. And then there's also the option, if you want to get a little bit more specific with where your specific body is at, maybe you, like you were saying, you don't methylate very well, so you might need some extra supplements to really get the benefits of the detox. You can come in and get an appointment with us at the beginning of this detox, kind of see if there's any other supplements you need, any specific foods that maybe the nightshades that you need to take out, something like that. So there's the option to come in and do a visit. And then there's also the option to come in and do adjustments and use the benefits of adjustments to boost your immunity and your detoxification throughout it. And so those are the options, but we're also going to be virtual as well as the option for phone calls.
Well, how much is this going to cost everybody
Great
to be
question.
part of the group?
So the being part of the group and having all the information is going to be free. We just want to have you join and do this detox because it's going to be so good for your health. And then for all the supplements, the total with the Baltone capsule, or no, the powder, I forgot which one's which.
The one with the capsules is $187.
Yes.
Is the total price. If you want, that's if you want the capsules. If you want the powder, it's $167. And then, like she said, we'll give 10% off just to help help save some costs for everybody.
If you sign up in the next couple hours.
And you know, I want to say one other thing. I'm going to make mine a little bit of a program: muscles grow and fat go.
Yeah.
I want to see a little bit more muscularity, more fat off my body. Anybody that knows me and see me at the beach, I tend to carry more than I really need to at times. I go through these almost junior Ben Franklin stages in my past a little bit, and then other times I've been pretty close to ripped, but not as ripped as Ronnie Pringle got there a while back. But anyhow, yeah, let me just finish this point. Yes. If any of you want to go through some of those things that really are going to enhance your body's muscular system and trim fat off faster, there are different products that I can tell you about, that I can show you how to get cheaper than retail price. Those are things that we can talk about more.
Good. Okay, so I am putting on here on both of these the link for signing up. So it's going to be healthandbalance.com/detox-webinar. Okay, so go there and there's a link that says sign up for the detox, and that's where you're going to get on the group. You're going to get all the information. It's going to be super good, and then that's where you can basically reserve your supplements. So actually, you know what, on there I need to in the text box where it says what is your hope for this webinar, just add your goals for the webinar, and then at the bottom say I want the supplements and I want the 10% off discount, and then you'll get them. And then what we'll do is we'll have you able to come pick them up this week. So we're going to be open Tuesday and Thursday this week from 12 to 6. And we're also open Wednesday morning from 7 until 12:30. And if you would like us to ship them to you, we can do that as well. We'll just add a shipping cost. Or we can do curbside pickup as well. So those are going to be the different ways you can get the supplement. So make sure.
One thing is though, please respond soon, because we just ordered more product. And if there's we had something like 40 people that have joined us today. And we want to make sure we have enough product for everybody. And that means there's commonly at least a 3-day process. Sometimes some of these products come from Florida and it can take longer to get the stuff. Yeah. So if you know you want to do it, please, respond soon.
Yeah, sign up today. And the first people that sign up are going to get first dibs on what we have in stock, and then we'll go from there. So sign up, healthandbalance.com/detox webinar. Type in there, I want the supplements and the detox, and the 10% off discount, and we'll put those aside for you. Come pick them up this week.
One other thing, in terms of how much water you're going to drink, we talked about the 4 ounces every 20 minutes. Half of your body weight in ounces of water is what you should be drinking. So right now I was on at 183 today. So that's 90 ounces of water that I need to consume on a daily basis to make sure that I've got enough water. And that's in general. Maybe even more is needed. Oh, and you can also have vegetable juices. If you're going to have vegetable juices and go to Whole Foods or make them yourself, just lay low on the beets and the carrots, because those are higher glycemic index vegetables. But get all your cucumbers and your celery and any of the other greens, all that stuff you want to do. But just, you can put a little bit of carrot or a little bit of beet in, but just not a lot. Yeah. So that you can have unlimited amounts of.
Good. Okay. Oh yes, Abby, we talked a little bit about that, working in intermittent fasting. We do recommend that.
Awesome. Yeah, just a recap is just don't have your first smoothie until 12 o'clock if you want to. And just realize, I've done so many different fasts, from a 10-day water fast to a 21-day master cleanser. And, I just realized that hunger, it's just a feeling.
True.
It's just a feeling, it's like, oh yeah, there's that hunger feeling. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I'm going to have a glass of water. Or if you're doing this, I'm going to have some vegetable juice, or I'm going to have some nuts, but just don't go crazy. You just control yourself. This is a time for self-control and discipline, and flexing those muscles of being on purpose, knowing you're doing something good for yourself, and you know why you're doing it, and there's going to be a great reward on the other side.
Yes. And that's what we talked about, that this whole detox is about taking exquisite care of yourself.
Exquisite care of yourself.
So we want to invite you in to join us to take care of your body, to love yourself, invest in your health, and invite your family and your friends to join you, because this is a great thing to do together and encourage one another. And that's why we're doing this. We're like, this is so fun. Do it as a staff. Invite a bunch of people in. Let's all just work on our health and do this together. And so it's going to be super sweet.
You have so much fun with everybody having a cutting board and a knife and all these veggies.
Chop,
you know. And you know what I really like to do is I like to take our big pan, cast iron pan, and I'll usually put avocado oil in, and then you start loading in your onions, your garlic, and then I have a what's that slice you call?
I forget the name of it.
Not a latrine. Hey, anyhow, slice your vegetables really thin, and you can put them in. Oh, and also a veggetti. I'll take and turn the zucchini into noodles and just throw all that stuff in, cook it, and you can take your marinara sauce and put it on that. It tastes like a big plate of pasta. Oh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
It's so good.
Yeah, you can have your little piece of chicken and a whole plate of zucchini pasta with vegetables in it. It's like,
so good.
This is tough to talk about because I'm fasting right now. So I can't wait till Friday.
Woo! Okay, so anybody have any last questions? We're also, like I said, we're going to be in a chat together. We're going to be in an email group. So we're going to be giving you videos, content, info. But right now, does anyone have any lasting questions before we go? We want to make sure we give you the info you need to get excited and get started. Getting thumbs up. Good. Okay, well, awesome. So you guys, we are so stoked. We hope that all of you join us. It's going to be lots of fun. Like I said, go to that link, healthandbalance.com/detox-webinar. Sign up for the 2-week detox with us there, and we'll get you your supplements this week so you can get started and kick it off on Friday.
Yep.
And it's going to be lots of fun. So thank you guys so much for joining. Hope you enjoyed it, got good info.
Oh, can they share this with someone if you didn't get to see all of it, or you want to share it with someone and say, oh, this would be great for my friend Nancy, or I got to, talk to, Bill or whatever.
So I'm going to be emailing out the recording of this whole thing so that you can share it with friends. I'm going to be putting it on our Facebook. I'm going to be emailing it to our email group, so you'll get the recording of this, and then share it with your friends. Invite people, tell them to sign up quick so that they get their supplements while we have them in stock, and we're going to be ordering more, and it's going to be great. We're going to do this together.
Yeah, let's have fun.
Let's have some fun. Okay,
Spring
everybody.
cleaning.
Woohoo!
Muscles grow, fat go.
Oh, and you can also call us. 949-497-2553. If you have any questions, or if you wanted to just sign up with us there, you can also just call if that's easier for you.
Yeah, leave a message and we'll get back to you.
Yes. So I'm going to put our number here.
Is that Ron guy right there?
Yeah, Ron guy. Woo, woo,
all right.
woo.
Well, thanks for joining in.
Yes. We'll see you soon. Love,
Stay healthy, my friends.
Blessings. Stay healthy. Thank you.